She walked into the lawyer's office quietly, holding a thin file against her chest. Her steps were careful, slower than before. When he looked up from the desk, ready to sign the final divorce papers, his breath stopped. She was 7 months pregnant, and he knew that child could only be his. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The ticking clock sounded louder than ever. He stared at her belly, round and undeniable. His mind raced back to the night she had left, the unanswered calls, the silence that followed. He had believed she was gone forever. She sat down slowly, avoiding his eyes. Her hands trembled slightly as she placed the file on the table. "I'm here to finish this," she said softly. Her voice carried strength, but pain hid behind it. He noticed how tired she looked, yet determined. He finally found his voice. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked, almost whispering. His anger from the past suddenly felt small. She looked up then, eyes shining but firm. "Because you had already chosen your freedom over us," she replied calmly. Memories flooded his mind. The fights, the long nights, the accusations. He remembered saying he wasn't ready for responsibility, that he felt trapped. He remembered how she cried quietly, packing her bags while he stood frozen, too proud to stop her. "I didn't leave because I wanted to," she continued. "I left because I had to protect myself." She placed a hand over her belly unconsciously. "And then I found out." Her voice broke for a second, but she quickly steadied herself. He stood up, walking a few steps away, running a hand through his hair. Fear replaced shock. Fear of becoming a father. Fear of failing again. "You're 7 months along," he said. "I missed everything." Regret settled heavy in his chest. "Yes," she answered. "I went through it alone." She didn't accuse him, but the truth was sharper than any anger. Doctor visits, sleepless nights, worry about money and the future. She had faced it all without him. Silence filled the room again. He turned back to her, eyes softer now. "I was wrong," he said quietly. "I was scared." He had never admitted that before. "But seeing you now, I don't want to run anymore." She listened, expression unreadable. "This meeting isn't about fixing us," she said carefully. "It's about finishing what we started." She pushed the papers slightly toward him. "The divorce needs to be finalized before the baby comes." His heart sank. "You don't want me involved?" he asked. The thought of being erased from his child's life terrified him. She shook her head slowly. "I never said that," she replied. "But I won't beg you to stay." He sat back down, picking up the pen but not signing. "I want to be there," he said firmly. "For the baby. And if there's even a small chance, for us." His voice held hope, fragile but sincere. She sighed, looking out the window. "Trust doesn't return overnight," she said. "Pregnancy changes you. It makes you stronger but also more careful." She turned back to him. "I need consistency, not promises." He nodded. "Then let me prove it," he said. "Appointments, support, responsibility. Whatever it takes." He placed the pen down. "I won't sign today if it means losing my child before I even meet them." Tears finally slipped down her cheeks. Not because she was weak, but because she was overwhelmed. "I was so angry," she admitted. "But I never stopped wishing you'd show up." Her hand tightened around the edge of the chair. He reached out slowly, stopping himself before touching her. "May I?" he asked, gesturing toward her belly. She hesitated, then nodded slightly. When his hand felt the gentle movement beneath, his eyes filled with tears. "That's our baby," he whispered. In that moment, something shifted inside him. The fear turned into responsibility, the regret into purpose. He realized life had given him a second chance, one he hadn't deserved but desperately needed. She watched him carefully. "I won't protect you from your mistakes anymore," she said. "If you walk away again, I won't chase you." Her words were firm, but her eyes carried hope she didn't want to admit. "I won't," he promised quietly. Not loudly, not dramatically, just honestly. He finally signed the papers but added an agreement for shared responsibility, support, and involvement. The divorce was finalized, but a new chapter quietly began. As she stood to leave, he walked her to the door. "Can I come to the next appointment?" he asked. She paused, then nodded. "Yes," she said. "One step at a time." A small smile touched her lips. When she left the office, he stayed behind, staring at the empty chair where she had sat. The papers were signed, but his life felt fuller than ever. He wasn't just losing a wife. He was becoming a father. Outside, she placed a hand on her belly again, breathing deeply. For the first time in months, she felt less alone. The future was still uncertain, but now it carried possibility. Sometimes, endings arrive disguised as new beginnings.